Hello everyone, in this video I will be showing you my game submission for Brackey's 2021 Game Jam. This jam lasted for a whole week and there were upwards of 2,000 entries total. But just like Global Game Jam, there weren't many virtual reality entries this year just because of its low popularity still, and it's even hard to search for virtual reality games as there's not like a section for it. Of course, you know I had to make a virtual reality game for it, and I'm so glad that my team was on board for it as well. From what I could tell by teaming up with random people, a lot of people want to make virtual reality games, but they don't really know how to or how to get started, so they need someone to help them. Anyways, this year's Game Jam theme was picked by a vote, and the majority went to Stronger Together. My top pick would have been Recycling But Bad, but that's what they picked. For the first day or two, we brainstormed individually, and then we came together to pick out the best idea and kind of build on it into a full concept. We thought of some pretty cool game ideas that could probably inspire you if you're looking for some random game ideas. One of our random ideas ended up being our top pick, and it was to kind of control a Mr. Meeseeks type of character where you move a certain way and they mirror your movements from a distance and they have to carry an object to an endpoint or something. The actual thing you are controlling and the environment around the player changed a lot since we were making the concept on that day to be a robot that was working on a farm. We had to get creative with the level design because while the mechanic was simple, there were fun ways and boring ways of making levels. I actually had to break out a notebook for this one because there were so many ideas that I was having that I just couldn't illustrate with a mouse and keyboard with my current skills of Photoshop or whatever. We eventually went with the idea of magnet hands that were able to kind of pick up the object that we were passing along, and also the arms would only be locked to like the two-dimensional axis just so it'd be easier for players to manage. Some of my biggest roles in the team were communicating our goals clearly, level design, and being an assistant programmer. Ultimately, you start a game jam with a blank slate, and it's up to us designers to fill that slate with ideas and then some action as well. I set up the levels and assets and worked with a lot of the prefabs, and I also had a lot of ideas for future robots if we had the time. I also corrected my mistake of being afraid to dive into the code from last game jam, and I really helped out the programmer this time, so we had enough time to at least do the basic things. There were some game elements that were simple but important that I helped program in, like the clock and accuracy. And as I was thinking of everything that needed to be included into our game, I was also making sure that all my teammates had a few tasks ahead of them that really connected with their skills. Speaking of the teammates, we had a 3D designer in the London time zone, a programmer and an overall artist in the Melbourne, Australia time zone, and the audio engineer and myself in the East Coast time zone. Surprisingly, the time zone differences didn't really get in the way of us at all. It was almost nice waking up and checking all the messages to see all the progress that they had done while I was sleeping, and then when I was working, it was nice to know that nobody was messing with what I was messing with, so we wouldn't run into each other on the Unity collab. But the game is done and ready to play, but we don't really want to touch it again because we have so many other exciting projects to work on. This is just something we did for a week. But we came together for that week and all had a lot of fun teaching each other our skills and also being creative together to work hard on something and finish it and upload it. It's great. The game is live on itch.io right now, and you can play it on almost all PC VR headsets as well as the Oculus Quest. Also, our lead programmer was the reason that this game was successful. He was years ahead of us in game development and organization, and he's the person that I learned the most from by far in this week. And he's publishing his own game to the Oculus Quest that deals with bees. It's on App Lab at the time of posting this video, so go ahead and check out that link in the description of this video. If you want to see more VR game development videos, go ahead and check out my channel down below because I do a bunch of them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.